How correcting children can turn violent. What we are getting wrong. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be tackling a difficult but important topic. How correcting children can sometimes cross the line into violence. And often people don't even realize it. If you are a parent, teacher, or anyone who works with kids, this is something we all need to reflect on. This isn't about shaming, it's about understanding the line between healthy discipline and harmful correction. The intent versus the impact. Let's start with a simple truth. Most adults correct children because they care. They want them to grow up respectful, responsible, and safe. But here is the problem. Correction can quickly become control. And when correction is delivered in anger, frustration, or even humiliation, it stops being helpful and starts becoming harmful. Are you with me? Let me give you a real world example. A case of a teacher, like a teacher discipline goes too far. Yeah. In a primary school, a teacher reprimanded, he beat up a 8-year-old boy for not able to read in class. Instead of calmly explaining to him, the teacher was frustrated. No, when you're teaching a child, is not getting it. The teacher pulled him close and slapped him. He cried. The teacher asked him to read it again. This time, he was shaking. But still, he couldn't read it. At this point, he feels pain. There's bruises on his face. Now, every time he sees the teacher, he's always scared. He's shaking. That correction, it led to fear, not improvement. That's not discipline, that's damage. There's actually something with cultural norms and normalizing violence. In many cultures, physical discipline like spanking or slapping is seen as normal, especially in Nigeria. Yoruba, everybody no spare the rod and spoil the child, right? But here is the reality. Research shows that physical punishment increase aggression, anxiety, and even mental health issues in children. It teaches them that violence is a solution, and worst of all, it damages trust between parents and child. There's a case of a father who regretted his reaction. A father in Nigeria here, he shared the story online. His 6-year-old daughter bedwets. So she slept one night and now. The father, furiously out of anger, he beat her. As old as you are still bedwetting, everywhere is smelling, seeing it at your age. You know those kind of. So guess what happened next? Just guess. The girl didn't cry. She didn't cry. He just noticed that she was lying flat on the ground. What's wrong? Why is this girl not moving? Okay. He immediately bent down to check on her. Guess what? She wasn't breathing again. The girl actually died. The father immediately regretted his mistake. He shouted, "Yay! Mogbe!" He killed his daughter. He wanted to correct her, but he's doing it in the wrong way. The punishment was meant to teach responsibility. Instead, it brought death. The emotional impact of this is correction doesn't have to be physical to be harmful. Yelling, calling names, sarcasm, public shaming, these are emotional weapons and they hurt just as deeply. There's another case of a child shamed online by her parents. Like in 2022, a mother uploaded a video of her daughter holding a sign that said, "I lied to my mom," while crying on camera. Imagine. The video went viral, now the internet called it discipline. Everybody like, yes, she's disciplining a child, that's how it's supposed to be. But child psychology called it public humiliation, and it left a lasting mark on the child's self-esteem. What may feel like a quick lesson becomes a lifelong memory of pain. We have to understand something deeper. Many adults correct kids the way they were corrected. And if you grew up with yelling, slapping, or shaming, you might think that's just how it's done. But generational trauma stops when someone chooses to do better. You are not weak for using empathy. You are strong for breaking the cycle. What do healthy correction looks like? What does respectful correction, what does it look like? One, you have to set clear boundaries ahead of time. You have to tell your children, don't do this, don't do this. You set clear boundaries. You explain the consequences to them calmly. Let your children feel heard. Use timeouts, natural consequences, loss of privilege, not pain, not fear. Remember, discipline means to teach, not to punish. Correcting a child is a part of parenting and teaching, but how we do it can either lift a child up or tear them down. Let's raise a generation that understands respect because they received it. Let's build trust, not trauma. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you rethink your approach or gave you something to reflect on, drop a comment below. Share your story. Let's keep this conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more real talk on violence. Take care and be kind to yourself and to the little ones in your life.